Hey everybody, it's Mel Hurd here, and I'm really just checking in to see how everyone's going during this whole COVID-19 situation. As the world is processing things day by day, how are you going? You know, it has been really lovely seeing other people checking in with each other and also receiving some beautiful messages, so thank you. But 2020, wow, it was set to be a positive year, the year of vision, but nobody saw this coming. But then maybe life has a funny way of working things out. And whilst I don't want to downplay the seriousness of all this, I do choose to remain optimistic because I do believe that we have a choice. We can choose to let fear control us and the outside world control us, or we can take charge of our own situation. And whilst I acknowledge that this is going to be affecting people differently, mentally, financially, and emotionally, and we're all going to face some really shitty days coming up. But that's why connection will be more important now than ever before. So whilst it's not business as usual for now, nor is it the time to sell, even though we need income and cash flow, the reality is for the majority of businesses and people, realistically, these next 4 to 6 weeks, people are just going to try and process what's going on and coming to terms, with what the next 3 to 6 to 12 months is going to look like. And they're just working out their immediate essential needs. So now's the time to also think about how you can be helping others, helping your clients, because it is the perfect opportunity to look within your own business too, your own developments. What can you be doing now that will help your business be in a better position once we get on the other side? Because we will get there. I believe that, and I also believe that by taking control of our situation, being positive, being prepared and being productive will be key in getting through, this tougher time together. So people have already been through tough times before. We've had the GFC, the 9/11, and pretty much the only difference now is that we are all affected and we are all struggling together as the world has completely changed as we know it. But I look at my grandparents. My grandfather, he was a soldier in Hungary during the war. So he had to flee with my grandmother and others. They had to get away from the war, they had to get away from the guns, the bombs, and they needed to escape because if they were captured, they would have surely and most definitely likely been killed. But they restarted here in Australia with no support and literally nothing, and they rebuilt. So seeing these stories and hearing, what has happened in the past is a reminder of the possibilities of, what can happen in the future on the other side of this COVID situation. So whilst the virus is serious, majority of us will survive. And, I really do believe that we are going to be much stronger, kinder, more resilient and smarter than ever before. And that also excites me. So there's certainly going to be a new kind of leadership, and we as business owners can also step up and tap into our own leadership abilities. So think like a leader, think like a futurist, get on top of what you couldn't do before and just make things happen, because this downtime may hopefully never come around again. So, do things like check in with your clients, listen to their needs, listen to their concerns. I've seen already so many clever businesses that are opening up and offering support, and they're doing free webinars, doing videos and Zoom calls for groups and for other businesses. And then there's even friends checking in on Friday nights, for a virtual wine call, which I think is great. So point is, think of your choices. What can you do now and what can you do for others? Yeah. So I'm currently in day 9 of isolation after coming back from a family holiday in New Zealand, which we had to cut short. I've come home to gigs being cancelled, but I'm excitedly using this downtime as it's given me the opportunity to rearrange my studio to be producing my own videos. I've been developing plans, I've been developing new system and products and ideas. That's really going to help people now, but also support my business much better and be more ready for once things go back to normal. So I encourage you to use this downtime. Don't be afraid of it. What can you do to get active? Because I truly believe preparation and heart and productivity is going to help us get through this. So have you thought about creating a checklist? All the possible things that you could be doing right now? Have you looked at your brand, your marketing, thought about producing your own video content? As a speaker, have you updated your show reels? How are you positioning yourself as the expert that is also providing support to your clients during this time? Again, not selling, supporting. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, and initiatives of what you are doing in your business and how you are helping others. So yeah, message me. But also I want to know what you're struggling with right now, because it's okay. It's okay to struggle and to feel a bit shit and, being a bit vulnerable. So my final thoughts or kind of question really is, how can I help you? How can I support you during this time? I have skills in video and photography, and I will be sharing some really useful tips in, offering support during this crisis. But it would be great to also know what content I can provide to you as well. So private message me or just pop your comments below on what support do you need right now. Online engagement, for example, jump a whopping 60%. So I do encourage you to start producing your own videos. If you haven't done this before, have the courage, because it's going to help you. Next to connection, communication is going to be so important. So especially over these next two coming months. Tomorrow, for example, I'm thinking of sharing 7 lessons I learned from skydiving that is actually going to help businesses during the COVID-19 situation. I just touched my face, didn't I? So don't let fear control you. Open your mind to the possibilities. What possibilities can you turn into reality? And don't do nothing, because you'll get left behind. The key is to also remember to be relevant. That's going to be very important. And I've got a feeling that we are all going to be better speakers and communicators after this virus has passed. And that is also another great thing. So finally, I just want to encourage you to see that now is the time to stand out and be seen and be heard. And don't let uncertainty and fear control you. Take charge, keep busy, and look after yourself and those around you. Take care. Bye.